Hi guys, today I have my patient here, Emily. We're going to discuss more about chronic pain. Last week we kind of discussed all of her symptoms of chronic pain. Today we're going to get more in depth with how she feels with it and kind of get her a more better understanding about chronic pain and her perception of pain. So Emily, there's three things I want to talk to you about. So first one we're going to talk about is that pain is an alarm. So pain is an alarm which is meant to protect us. So you know when like you're cooking like, in the kitchen and or you're baking and you burn your finger, right? Of course it hurts and you pull your finger away from it, right? So if you're gonna like the reason why that works, think about how. So we discussed that Emily's a diabetic. She has a sensor on her right arm. When her sensor goes off, either it's high or low, it'll kind of give her an alarm, like a ring noise. That prompts her to do something, as in either to increase insulin intake or have her eat. So it's the same reason with the explanation of pain. When pain hits that threshold, when you hurt yourself somehow, so if you burn yourself, it tells the information to your brain to pull your hand away from that source. Okay? So I'm going to have you try to explain that pain is an alarm, what I just taught you, back to me.
Okay. So basically pain is an alarm because it will tell you if your pain is so high, it automatically, you would remove your hand from that, like you said with the stove analogy. Same thing with the sensor on the arm. If my blood sugar is high, it alarms me, and that's how I know how to correct it.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect explanation right back to me. So again, with this photo, like they provide an analogy of an alarm clock like going off to kind of just tell you to do something, like pretty much making you have any action to perform to fix the problem. Okay, so that's the first step. The second thing is that pain is poorly related to damage. Okay, so you're a social worker and you work with kids all the time, right? So let's say a kid is walking around like in their house, and the one thing that they always hit is they hit the table like with their leg or their knee, and it hurts, right? Well, you turn around, they look at you, and if you make a grimace face, they think the pain is actually worse. Like if they see that you notice that they're hurt, they'll cry more.
Right.
But if you change your facial expression to just smile, they kind of stop crying, and it's kind of like, whoa, we kind of just reverted that situation, right? So again, there's that analogy where pain is permanent damage. Despite the kid hitting their foot or knee on the table, they kind of changed the way that they felt just by how they saw someone look at them. Okay, so kind of explain that back to me now.
So basically, if I were in a house with a kid and they were to hurt themselves, and if I would have reacted strongly, like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" they would probably be more tearful. But if I were to laugh it off and be like, "Oh, you're fine," they would probably be able to bounce back quicker from that. That a reaction kind of triggers their level of thinking.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so we got two down. So the last one now is that pain is more about sensitivity. So how we kind of feel with sensitivity to pain, it kind of changes through our life, right? So like a kid hurting themselves versus an older adult hurting themselves are two completely different things. So what the main thing is that there's lots of things that can stem from our surroundings and our environment, our life experiences that can cause pain to hurt more than it really is. So think about like, since you're working, you're done with school. Like what would be more stressful, working or during school?
I would say probably school.
Okay, so with school you have all these assignments, you have teachers, you have kind of a more like crammed schedule, right? So when you have all these things like kind of building up, you worrying about things, you getting less sleep, you not having a good diet because you're just trying to eat something fast enough.
Right.
All those things can kind of contribute and can exacerbate and increase more pain that you actually feel without actually causing damage, like hurting yourself on something.
Right.
So think about all the stressors in your life, and those things could probably are contributing to why you're feeling this chronic pain and forcing you to come get a consult with physiotherapy. So with that, I can pretty much try to give you advice that if stressors around your life right now with work is getting too much, like try some breathing techniques, try to just meditate and calm down, try to loosen up the muscles, not let it tense up if that ever happens. Okay? So I'm going to have you give me the last explanation right back to me, teaching me what you know about pain is more about sensitivity.
So environmental factors play a big role into how you respond to pain. So if I were having financial stressors, or if I was working late so I'm not getting as much sleep, my diet, exercise, stuff like that, it prevents me from getting sleep at night, and then I'm more tired throughout the day, and that affects that.
Yeah. So you explained that just right back perfectly back to me. So again, look at this graph. So what they provide is that all of these like little waves kind of change in threshold. So if you have more of like less sleep, more worrying, more fear, avoiding things, and just hurting more like stress, all those contribute to kind of fluctuate the sensitivity to how you feel about your pain, without you actually causing more pain to yourself. Okay. So these things contribute. So as long as you kind of just do the plan of care stuff with breathing and just trying not to be as stressed and relaxed, then everything should be all right. Okay? So I'm going to have you take these documents back with you. That way, if you have any questions, you can always contact me and then just read these over and kind of remind yourself what you need to do.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.